Alright guys, I want to thank you for coming back for another video. I know it's been a long time since we made a video on the GT500. Just want to let you guys know I am still around. I apologize, I have not made any videos. Life has been very hectic with a new job. I've been basically using all my time learning a new trade, learning new technology. I am now a network admin, so I'm learning a lot of new Cisco stuff. It's taken a lot of my time with overtime, trying to get the infrastructure working right and dealing with day-to-day bullshit, also learning and studying for my CCNA. So that does take a lot of my time now. But there are some updates on the GT500. We're gonna go ahead and get into it and let you know what the first year has been like owning my 2007 GT500. Let's get into it. All right, guys, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. We're not going to do this outside. It is a beautiful January rolling into February Saturday in Pennsylvania. So it's cold outside. It's rainy. We haven't had too much snow yet, thank God. But the weather's kind of shitty outside, so I don't feel like getting the GT500 out. As a matter of fact, the GT500 just got back down on the ground. We did have a couple nice days, so I drove it around. But it's getting ready to get put back up in the air for the winter. So, 2019 has been a great year for me. I know you guys don't get that from the videos with my displeasure with some of the stuff that's happened with the GT500 over 2019, but I forget, I am blessed. It is very easy to forget the things that you were blessed for in the midst of all the problems and headaches that you have in day-to-day life. 2019 was a fantastic year for me. I was able to purchase my GT500. I secretly lusted over this car for probably about 10 years or so. What a lot of you guys don't know is me and Jen went to go test drive one of these back, God, it had to be the first couple of weeks we were together back in 2010. Same color, same everything. And I said, I'm gonna buy one of these. You know, life kind of takes you sideways a little bit. You get a little sidetracked, and it took me a while to make it happen. But 2019 was the year I was able to make it happen. I got the car that I secretly lusted over. You guys just didn't know about it. So I got that. I started a new position at work. I'm now a network admin. A lot of stuff that goes along with that. Lots of headaches, taking a lot of my time. You know, I started my t-shirt business, my vinyl business, my YouTube. While it isn't taking off crazily, I have all these little things going on that are all going great. They're helping support my car addiction and helping me get some mods on the car so I can get the content out to you guys. So it has been a great year for that, but it has not come without its hurdles and speed bumps. So you guys know my displeasure and a lot of the shit that's happened with this GT500 over the last year. I knew there were going to need to be some things that I was going to have to do to get it the way that I need it and the way that I want it. I just didn't really think of all the other stuff that was going to happen along the way. So things got a little bit more expensive than what I thought. Typical projects, you set a budget you want to hit, and then they kind of, you know, start going crazy and you start spending a lot more money and time than what you anticipated. I'm not going to say it got very, very crazy, but it was enough that there were some unexpected turns. The car did have to get flatbedded a couple times, broke a few things. You guys are going to see the latest thing that broke on the car and kind of put me off track a little bit. So for 2020, the plan was to be able to do a return style fuel system, go E85 on the car. And then a few weeks after I made my last video showing the rundown of all the mods already on the car, I kind of jinxed myself. I made a comment about the clutch and I said, I can't believe this clutch is holding up. And I'm really surprised that it held up this good for the amount of abuse. And I beat the shit out of this car. It's on drag radials all the time. It gets raced every time it goes out. So I kind of jinxed myself and said, I'm surprised this clutch is holding. Fast forward 2 weeks later, we get, you know, a nice cold night. Dusty contacts me and say, hey, come out to the dig spot. We got a Tesla coming out that wants to run. We got a this, we got a that. So I break my car out. Drive an hour and a half out to this place just to find out like nobody showed up. So I was getting ready to run a C6Z with a big Pro Charger on it. Badass car. It's probably making like 800, 900 wheel. I was going to run him. His car breaks off the line. He goes home. Next car I was going to run was a nitrous Chrysler 300 with a bunch of bolt-ons, cams, all that shit. Then he breaks right after the burnout. So I'm like, fuck, you know, I'm just going to make a solo pass. Make a solo pass on a car, clutch isn't holding. And I'm like, something ain't feeling right. They're telling me I'm blowing sparks. I said, fuck it, I just sent it. And that was the end of the clutch. It made a hell of a pass. Sparked the whole way. Cerametallic clutch. So the hotter they get, the more they grip. And basically I fused everything together. So my 2020 E85 budget went out the window, and what you guys can see went in its place is a McLeod RXT. So the RXT is already in the car. You're gonna see a brake line there because we did the Roush line lock kit as well. You're gonna see the old upper control arm. That was another piece of carnage. I'm gonna keep this stuff on my wall of shame. So we got the RXT in the car. The car drives absolutely fantastic on the RXT. I really didn't think I was going to like the light pedal pressure because I am used to a very heavy pedal pressure, but oh my God, it is beautiful. So McLeod, thank you for making a great clutch. Hopefully this thing takes the abuse that you guys say it should take. But as far as drivability, I put like 150 miles on it so far. It is butter smooth engagement. It's lighter than what a stock clutch was on these. It is just absolutely great to drive. So I am very looking forward to springtime again, get some miles on the car, get this thing racing again. But again, that chewed up a lot of my budget. As you guys know, twin disc clutch is expensive. I could have done the install myself, but I'm getting a little bit older. Bones are hurting. As you guys know, probably had some neck problems, neck surgery a couple years ago. So doing stuff like that on the floor doesn't bode well for my body anymore. When I was doing my upper control arm, I hurt my shoulder again laying on the floor. So I really do pick and choose what I do anymore just to avoid hurting myself. So I did have a shop do that. While I was in there, they had to bleed the brake fluid for the sleeve cylinder, so I just had them put the line lock kit in there anyway while they were there. So two things I didn't get to show you guys videos on. I apologize. Again, usually I do my work myself, but this one just made sense to have somebody do it in the off season, and it worked out. So let's go ahead and show you guys the clutch. I'll show you guys some of the other stuff we got working on for maintenance, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's show you guys. This is the Exedy Mach 600. And we'll show you guys the carnage I did. I did pretty good on this one. So here is the Exedy Mach 600 pressure plate. Everything from the outside, you know, looks pretty good other than a whole bunch of black dust on it. So let's flip this guy over. And I'm not sure if they're gonna come up much on the video, but you can see those grooves. You could tell there was a lot of metal on metal contact there. Those grooves look like rotors that haven't had brake pads on them for quite a while. And you can see some of the discoloration on the pressure plate. Now, the disc. This is the funny part. So, the disc, you can see these pads. You got some real good carnage on those pads. This clutch has 4,000 miles on it, maybe. So, I did a real treat on that. Show you some of those pads. You see some of the discoloration. Let's see if we can get under some more light. See some of the discoloration. Now, more importantly, if you can pick that up on camera, this clutch disc is actually bowed up on the ends. This is basically has the curvature of a plate and not a disc. So I did warp that clutch disc up pretty good. I don't know if you guys can catch it from those angles. I wanted to keep this stuff because I wanted to try and sell the flywheel, but I don't think that's gonna fly. I don't feel comfortable selling this. Where you can see there is a little bit of grooving on the flywheel from the disc. Again, you're gonna start seeing some discoloration and some purpling around the inside of the flywheel. Now when we flip it over, look at that bad boy. You can see a lot of discoloration, a lot of hot spots around that main part of the flywheel where the friction disc was. I don't feel comfortable selling that. It's probably fine, but I'm not gonna bother selling that. I don't need the money that bad. But you guys can see how hot I got that thing. So obviously this thing is toast. Again, probably 5,000 miles on this thing. But you know, shit happens. Now I can really send this car this year. I always kind of had my doubts on the clutch. The thing's gone, it's done with, so we're gonna move on with life now. So that was only part of the carnage for 2019. The other part of the carnage was the upper control arm that I've probably showed you guys before. This is a white line upper control arm. You can see that thing was just a little bit trashed. That almost caused me a bad day. I caught that just in time. I now have a BMR piece in place of that. As you guys know from another video, I had the stock intercooler pump take a shit on me. I got a new intercooler pump in there, Davies Craig. When I brought the car back from getting the clutch in, the intercooler pump wasn't working again. So I happened to find that I think the relay is sticky. So I'm either gonna get a new relay or I'm probably just gonna jumper the relay and say fuck the relay. Those things have been known to cause a lot of problems in these cars, so I'm probably just gonna get rid of the relay. You know, other than that, just little knick-knack shit causing problems. You know, traction was a problem until I got the drag radials. Heat soak with the car. I really got to figure out what to do with heat soak with this car. When it's cold out, the car is a monster. It makes all the power, all the boost. When it's hot out, I mean, you guys know how this shit goes. So for 2020, I want to try and figure out something for the hood vents. I want to try and get some better flowing hood vents to get some more air out of there. I may do the JLT grill bezels to get a little bit more air in through the grill. I don't know how much it's going to help, but I'm willing to try a few things. I was considering ceramic coating the headers, but I don't know if I want to get the headers out. It's just a pain in the ass to do. I may still powder coat the wheels. Again, I'm back and forth on that because my budget kind of went out the window for some other stuff, but I still got to put new TPMS sensors because I got the wrong TPMS sensors with those wheels. So I got to put new TPMS sensors anyway. It's a couple $100, another $400 or $500 for powder coating. I'd rather put that towards a fuel system. So I don't know if we're going to put that off yet. Other than that, we just have some general maintenance to the car. One thing I did get, I got a ricer mod. You guys may give me shit about this, but you know, when you have a fully built GT500, what do you buy? Dumb shit. So I have a sequential taillight harness. I'm actually going to put that in today. We have a brand new set of TR7iX plugs to put in this. Plugs are pretty fresh, you know, a couple thousand miles on these plugs, but I did run some octanium through them. They look like shit, so I'm probably just gonna put fresh plugs in every year. On Amazon, you can get those plugs right now for like $1 a plug or something like that, or $2 a plug. They're super cheap. So if you guys, the TR7iX are supposed to be great for idling, so check those plugs out. At that price, if you're getting them under $8 to $10 a plug, you're getting a pretty good deal. So at $1 or $2 a plug, you're getting a phenomenal deal. What do we got on the list here? I took some things off of the list because I was able to get them done already. We got some powder coating we talked about. Still want to get the car back in the air. I want to change out the diff and the trans fluid. We're probably going to go with AMSOIL. At least for the diff, we're going to do AMSOIL. I think for the trans fluid, I may do Mobil 1 just because I want something a little bit thinner. The thicker fluids, when it's cold, these things do not like to shift when they're cold. So I may go with a Mobil 1. Mobil 1 did good for my T5. You guys know I beat the shit out of my T5 with that thing, with that fluid in it. So we might possibly go with Mobil 1. Plus, it's easier to get. Change plugs. You guys know I just got plugs. Rewire the line locks. So line locks in. They just dropped the wires. I told them just to drop the wires underneath the dash until I find a spot where I want to do the switch and the kind of switch I want to do. I'm still trying to figure that out. So we're going to do the rewire. Change oil. We're going to go with AMSOIL for that again. Adjust elbow, the BPS elbow, I'll show you guys that in a minute, we'll get into that. Fix lumbar support. So very common thing with the S197 cars is lumbar support, springs snap. So I think that has snapped and my lumbar support kind of sitting down in the seat and it's bugging me. So we will be looking at that when we get time. So this BPS elbow, what I've been noticing is it actually elevated my throttle body and my cold air intake. So right here on this clip is actually rubbing into my hood. And there is a spot right there, if you guys can see it, where it's rubbing into the metal of the hood there. I don't like that, so I may try and adjust that elbow down a little bit. If you guys remember, when I showed the inside, when I was putting the elbow on, I said everything fit flush. I didn't have to grind anything out. That's because I had the elbow at the topmost part of adjustment. So I may have to set it down a little bit, and I may get a little bit of a lip, but it's not like a make or break deal. So we'll prevent my hood from getting fucked up though. Again, I'm trying to get a set of True Forged. I may have a lead on a set of brand new True Forged hood vents, but as you guys can see, these hood vents don't really do shit for moving air. You just got really tiny slats in there, so I'm hoping maybe that might help. If I don't have any hood vents by the time it gets warm out, I'm going to take these hood vents out and run it for a little bit and see if the underhood temperatures go down from not having any vents at all. Kind of test that theory that I got, but I really just think it's evacuating the hot air out of this bay. I got so many fans, big fans moving a lot of air. All that air is hot and it's just moving it around the bay and it's not going anywhere. Got the strip out the back of the hood, and I think getting more air in through the grill, coming out through the back of the hood, coming out through the vents, I think it's going to help a little bit. You're going to see the Roush line lock right there. Basically, it's the SLP. Well, it is the SLP. It's just rebranded as Roush. I'm going to try and adjust this line a little bit here. It's getting a little bit close to the intake tube. I don't want that to rub through the line and fuck up my brake line, or rub through the tube and fuck up the tube. Real simple thing I'm thinking about doing this year. You guys know I cut vinyl, cut my stickers. Thinking about doing a little bit different logo for the PM Performance logo. But what I'm thinking about doing, I fucking hate window louvers. If you guys like window louvers, so be it. But I hate window louvers, and I hate those stupid fucking fake things that you guys glue onto the side of the cars for those little vents there. So what I'm thinking about doing, I'm thinking about cutting a white piece of vinyl as the outline of the window and actually reverse cutting my PM Performance logo, whether it be this logo or it be a new logo that I'm working on. So that way this window is white with vinyl, and then the cutout is going to be my sticker, which will be black through the tint. So I think I may be doing that as well. Other than that, you know, I don't know what else I'm going to be doing to the car this year. I have some ideas, but it is going to come down to money. So whatever I can fund this year, I'm going to try and fund and do videos on. But the most important thing I want to get to with this is I want to enjoy the car this year. I really felt like I was under a lot of pressure. I wanted to race the world with this car, or get the car set up. And, you know, I've had a little bit of a couple setbacks. So I didn't really get to, I mean, I drove the car, but I didn't really get to enjoy it. This is a phenomenal car to drive compared to the SN95. It's just a great, comfortable car to drive. I don't have a catback on it. I have the stock catback. It's just loud enough when you get into it where it roars, but it's comfortable for cruising. I got my Shaker 1000 stereo. I got my subwoofers. I like to jam out to my music. I'm cool with that. I just haven't done that enough. So as much as I hate car shows, I hate Cars and Coffee, you know, maybe I'll try and go to Carlisle with this thing this year just to meet up with a few friends I met at Carlisle the other year. I just really want to try and drive it more. I think when the drag radials are done, those ET Street SSs, they're fabulous tires. But I think once those are dead, I think I might replace those with Toyo R888s like I had on the SN95. So I can kind of throw this thing in turns a little bit more and have a little bit more fun with it. Those are still very stable in turns, but it's a tall tire, it's a soft sidewall. I get a little bit worried about getting a little too aggressive on those. So we may be switching those out once those are dead, but I'm not fully convinced I want to do that yet. But this year, 2020, I want to enjoy the car. I want to get the car consistent making power. I want to hit my goals. The goal this year, or last year, was to do 10s on 20s. I have the power to do it. I have the ability to do it. I was just hitting too many roadblocks. So I'm really hoping I can get that goal this year, because I really don't want to turn it up too much more until I hit my goal. I want 10s on 20s. How I drive it, no changes made, and I'm cool with that. If I happen to start making some more power and going fast and later, that's great. But again, I had to figure out the shifting issues. I think I got the shifting issues figured out. Burnout issues, I think I got that figured out now with the line lock. I think everything is figured out with the car. So we're set for success for 2020, except for the heat soak. That I still think is gonna be a problem, but I have some ideas. So guys, I appreciate you sticking with me. I know that it seems like I'm really down and negative about this car. It's just been a rough year. So stick with me, stay up to date on the videos. I'm gonna try and do as much tech videos as I can. More importantly, I'm gonna get some videos of driving in. I wanna get the car out more. I want to get you guys some more racing videos. I got 2 cameras now, plus my cell phone. So, you know, potentially 3 different things to film with now, so we can kind of start getting some more angles on racing. And got another suction cup now, so we can get a front view and a back view of these races and get some more angles. So stay tuned for some stuff coming up in the spring with some racing once this clutch is broken in. And, you know, we're going to see how successful we are in 2020. So, again, thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. If you guys want t-shirts, stickers, whatever, reach out to me. On Instagram is probably easiest. Reach out to me, let me know. Any support from the sticker and shirt purchases are going towards mods on the car. So, I appreciate everything, guys. Thanks for watching.